A pretty complicated road funding plan that passed the House last week that you've been covering extensively. Run us through some of the tax changes involved.
Yeah, right. So this plan actually includes some tax increases that would raise more money for roads, but it also includes some tax relief components that might help some of those same residents who are paying to fix the roads. So the big one is that registration fees would increase by about 40% starting in October of next year. So if you pay $100 for your registration fee now, you'd pay $140. Fuel taxes would then go up to about 22.3 cents from 15 on diesel and 19 on gas right now, and that would happen by October of 2018, so a couple more years down the road. But then later on, well, actually that same tax year anyways, the homestead property tax credit, which homeowners and renters, usually lower to middle income people, are paying, they'd get some relief. That would be expanded, and also you'd raise the maximum amount people could get. That would actually save people about $200 million a year. And then the big unknown, really how this would affect things, is that beginning in fiscal year 2019, the state could roll back its income tax rate anytime that general fund revenue exceeds the rate of inflation. It's not really clear how that actually would play out because we don't know what our fiscal picture is going to look like or the economy that far down the line.
Now, that last piece, some people are calling a fiscal time bomb. What are some of the concerns related to that?
Well, like I said, it's simply unknown how it would affect things. If you look at if that income tax rollback were in place this year alone, it would have meant a $680 million tax decrease. The rate would have gone from 4.25 to about 3.9, which would have been good for taxpayers. Or, I mean, I like more money in my pocket, but it also would have potentially hurt the budget. Now, the budget would still grow, but the real concern is that that income tax trigger only works in one direction. So you have a real good year, taxes would be cut, and then if we have a real bad year, if we go back into a recession, taxes would not increase. So House Fiscal did a little projections and suggested that this could essentially exacerbate an economic downturn if it were in place, and really hurt the state's ability to help crawl out from that recession.
Now, speaking of taxes, I've heard a little bit about a birthday tax. It sounds more like a fee, but what is it?
Sure. So Democrats are complaining about a birthday tax, which is the registration fee increase. It's an effective argument, I would say, because registration fees are due on your birthday every year, and this House plan, most of the new money would come from a registration fee. Now, some Republicans who passed this in the House are actually arguing that registration fees are not a tax, which seems to be a little bit of a specious argument. You'd certainly pay more. Secondly, registration fees are a good stable source of revenue. We know that gas taxes are declining as we have more fuel-efficient vehicles. So the registration fee does offer a better long-term source of funding for the state. But the negatives of a gas tax increase are that it doesn't hit out-of-state motorists, so tourists coming into the state. They'd pay for fuel taxes, but they won't pay any extra on registration fees. There's also some fairness issues. Registration fees are based on the value of your car, but really they're not a direct user fee in terms of you're not paying more for using the road more. So I'm thinking about buying a second car to have on the side. I'd be paying 2 registration fee bills, even though I'm only driving the same amount. And the third negative of a registration fee tax is that registration fee increase, is that birthday tax messaging. It's effective. We've seen it before.
Definitely. Well, thanks so much for letting us know about some of these issues, and I'm sure you're looking forward to covering this.
Of course.